Well, Infowars host, no, not Alex Jones, got 60 days in a federal pen for the J6 shenanigans.
You're kidding.
Yet not having stepped in 1 foot in the building.
What the fuck?
But then again, Enrico Tarrio, leader of the Proud Boys, got 22 years, and he wasn't even in the fucking city.
You're a fucking idiot.
I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this
We can't see past our own fucking reflection.
is what's next. What's up, guys? Jazz Berganzo, what's next? Your daily dose. Hope you guys are feeling good today on this Wednesday. The J6 shenanigans, they just don't stop. First, we had Enrique Tarrio, who is the leader of the Proud Boys, got 22 years for his J6 shenanigans, and he wasn't even in the city. So now comes Infowars host. No, not Alex Jones. He got 60 days in the Fed pen, and he didn't step inside the building. But then again, who cares about justice? And this, coming out of Breitbart. Infowars host Owen Schroyer sentenced to 60 days in prison over Capitol riot. Infowars host Owen Schroyer was sentenced to 60 days in a Fed pen on Tuesday over the January 6 shenanigans at the U.S. Capitol, despite not stepping 1 foot inside the building. Quote, "I was not part of any larger plan for illegal activity on violence that day," Schroyer said at the sentencing. Still, U.S. District Judge Timothy Kelly, who has been known to just throw people in prison just for no damn reason, sentenced Schroyer to 60 days. Kelly recently sentenced former Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio to a record-high 22 years. He was in Baltimore, not in D.C., but who cares? It's called conspiracy. Kelly sentenced Schroyer to 60 days in prison over a federal prosecutor's request for 120. Schroyer helped create the January 6th. Really? Federal prosecutors wrote in their sentencing memorandum, "The government respectfully requests the court sentence him to 120, 12 months of supervised release, 60 hours community service, and $500 in restitution. And yes, make sure that he confesses to killing JFK and also the Lindbergh baby kidnapping." In the months prior to January 6th, Schroyer spread election disinformation paired with violent rhetoric to hundreds of thousands, if not millions, the government added. In response to the government's sentencing memorandum, Schroyer's attorneys argued that the government was infringing on Schroyer's First Amendment right to free speech. Mr. Schroyer and every person capable of speaking in the United States has a right to utter speech. Mr. Schroyer Schroyer attorneys argued that the government would argue otherwise is frightening commentary on our times. The government sentencing memorandum was a shocking effort to criminalize dissent and warrants a stiff rebuke from this court. Mr. Schroyer has every right to believe and to assert this very day that the 2020 election was stolen, they added. Schroyer's prosecution of the events on January 2021 stemmed from a previous plea agreement Schroyer reached with the federal prosecutors in 2019. Owen Schroyer is only one of a handful of J6 participants charged with a crime despite neither entering the Capitol building or being accused of committing violence or destruction on Capitol grounds. Who cares? Prosecutors charged Schroyer because he has previously signed a deferred prosecution agreement after interrupting a congressional hearing in 2019 and had argued that the case is not utter, loud, threatening, or abusive language and engage in any disorderly or disruptive conduct or at any place upon the United States Capitol grounds. So you can't offer dissent even though it's we the people's building or we the people's ground. But who cares about that? Who cares about facts? It's all about your feelings. Roughly 1,100 defendants have been charged with connection with January 6th. 1,100. More than 600 have been sentenced, and those more than 370 have been sent to prison and are still in the federal gulags as we speak. This bullshit just won't stop. It just won't stop. Even though we have Donald Trump on video that day saying, y'all need to go home. Election's been decided. Leave peacefully. Peace out. But no. He is the kingpin. He is the el jefe of this whole shenanigans, the whole riotness. But to sentence people, again, Enrique Tarrio, 22 years. There was a guy named Biggs who got sentenced to 17 years. He was on the grounds that day. Enrique Tarrio was in Baltimore. Schroyer, this guy, yeah, he was just there. Didn't throw one rock. Didn't even have a gun. Didn't even go near the building. But yet, let's give him 60 days in a Fed pen out of a original 120. This shit's going to continue. On and on and on. We're kind of surprised that you had the, of course, the supposed kingpin, Chewbacca himself. His name is escaping me at the moment. Got sentenced to original 4 years. And of course, he was in jail for less than 2. Oh, actually, not really jail. He was in the DC gulags for less than 2, and now is on house arrest with a lovely ankle bracelet on. But of course, he could be put in the Fed pen at any time. They're dangling that little thing over him. If you do anything, what's going to happen to you. This is North Korea. This is Germany during the Hitler days, prior to Hitler just going off and just wiping everybody out. This is bullshit of its highest order. For them to continue to do shit like this, it is. And then again, when you have a dementia-riddled old man running the White House, when you have asswipes surrounding him, when you have the DOJ used as a political hammer against anyone who has any kind of dissent, any kind of, speech, free speech that says, you know what, my government sucks, and here's why. They could be like, how dare you? Off! To the gallows you go. Well, I won't be surprised if that's what's coming next. But then again, we're not in medieval times, are we? And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it, hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. And oh, by the way, Hunter's running around doing his little shenanigans, and yet, chirp, chirp, chirp. And what about the old man and, his connection to Ukraine's and, of course, China? Chirp, chirp, chirp. And we'll catch you next time. Peace.